2 ingredients, combined cost, under $2. Hard water stains, gone. Not faded, not temporarily lifted, chemically dissolved and structurally prevented from coming back. What you're about to hear is a cleaning formula that existed before spray bottles were even a product category, before the cleaning aisle, before the concept of consumer household goods was a billion-dollar industry. And once you understand what these two things do when combined, you'll never look at a bottle of commercial hard water remover the same way. That white scale on your shower glass, the cloudy film on your faucets, the gray ring that forms around the base of your taps no matter how often you scrub. You've probably bought something to deal with it, maybe several somethings. And here's the part that made me genuinely angry when I actually looked into this. None of those products were designed to solve the problem. They were designed to manage it, temporarily, just long enough for you to buy another bottle. Here's what the cleaning product aisle is actually selling you, the problem, bottled, with a fresh scent added. Think about it. If a product eliminated hard water staining permanently, you'd buy it once, maybe twice. The math on that is terrible for a company projecting quarterly revenue. But if it softens the stain, blurs it a little, buys you 3 weeks of relief before the scale is back, now you've got a repeat customer, now you've got a subscription, even if nobody calls it that. The cleaning products industry globally is worth over $200 billion. And a significant chunk of that number depends on problems that never fully get solved. The formula I'm going to walk you through doesn't work that way. It targets the chemical structure of the deposit itself. And the reason most people have never heard of it isn't complicated. It's just old. Old enough that it predates the marketing machinery that decides what counts as common knowledge in your home. Borax has a paper trail going back to 1887, specifically to a California mining operation, and a chemist named Francis Marion Smith, who figured out something the domestic science movement quietly buried a generation later. Smith's company, Pacific Coast Borax, supplied borax to households across America for decades. It was a staple, advertised not just as a cleaner, but as a water conditioner, because that's exactly what it is, a compound that interferes with the mineral chemistry of hard water at a fundamental level. Early household manuals, the kind passed down through families before the internet existed. To replace that knowledge, listed borax combinations for everything from laundry to mineral deposit removal on porcelain. By the 1950s, that knowledge had started to quiet down, not disappeared, just quieted. The new wave of commercial cleaning products came in branded bottles with bold claims, and the old formulas stopped getting reprinted. Lemon's story is even older. Citric acid from lemon juice was used as a descaling compound in Roman domestic contexts. There are references in household texts from the 1st century to using acidic fruit preparations on mineral-encrusted bronze and stone. Medieval European housekeeping guides recommended lemon and salt preparations, specifically for the chalky scale that formed in stone cisterns and on metal cookware. The combination of citric acid and a boron-based alkali isn't folk medicine guesswork. It's a reaction that chemists can diagram precisely, and the result has been documented consistently for over 100 years. The two compounds do something together that neither does alone. That's the part that matters. Hard water stains aren't dirt. That's the first thing modern products get wrong about them. They're mineral deposits, specifically calcium carbonate and magnesium silicate, left behind when water evaporates and its dissolved mineral content stays put. That's it. It's essentially thin stone, very thin, very fine, but structurally the same category of problem as scaling in pipes or limescale in kettles. When you use a standard spray cleaner on hard water deposits, you're introducing surfactants, compounds that loosen and lift organic dirt, grease, skin oils. But calcium carbonate doesn't respond to surfactants the way organic matter does. The stain sits there, maybe picks up a little shine from the cleaner's glycol components, and reforms within days, because the underlying mineral chemistry hasn't changed. What actually dissolves calcium carbonate is acid, specifically citric acid, the compound found in concentrated form in lemon juice, reacts with calcium carbonate directly. The citric acid donates hydrogen ions that break the carbonate bonds apart. The reaction produces calcium citrate, carbon dioxide, and water. The calcium citrate is water soluble. The stain doesn't get lifted. It gets converted into something that can simply rinse away. That's a fundamentally different mechanism than anything in a commercial spray cleaner, and it's why the result feels different. You're not scrubbing, you're dissolving. Now here's where borax comes in, and this is the part that elevates the formula from lemon juice on a stain, which does work, to a point, into something that creates lasting protection. Borax is sodium tetraborate. When it dissolves in water, it creates a mildly alkaline solution with a particular property. It forms a thin, almost invisible ionic film on glass and ceramic surfaces. This film has two effects. One, it alters the surface tension of water on that material, causing water to sheet off rather than bead and sit. Two, It interferes with the ability of calcium and magnesium ions to bond to the surface. Essentially, it makes the surface chemically less hospitable to the deposits that form hard water staining. The citric acid from the lemon removes what's already there. The borax residue changes the surface, so deposits form more slowly and with less adhesion in the future. Used together, you're not just cleaning, you're treating. The surface that comes out of this process is a different surface, chemically speaking, than the one you started with. Modern spray cleaners can't do this for a structural reason. They're formulated to rinse completely clean. No residue, no film. That's actually the selling point. But the borax film only works if it stays. A complete rinse removes it. A light rinse after this treatment leaves the borate layer intact, sitting in the microscopic texture of the glass or ceramic. You don't feel it, you don't see it, but under a microscope, it's there, and it's why surfaces treated this way stay cleaner longer than anything you'll get from a bottle. So here's the exact combination, the exact process, and why the sequence matters as much as the ingredients. You'll need 2 tablespoons of borax powder. Not boric acid, not borax-based detergent, just pure borax, which is sold under the brand name 20 Mule Team in most hardware and grocery stores and costs around $4 for a box that will last you years. You'll need the juice of 1 full lemon, freshly squeezed, about 3 tablespoons of liquid, and a small mixing container. That's it. Combine the borax and lemon juice directly in the container. You'll see it fizz immediately. That's the citric acid reacting with the borax in a mild acid-base reaction that releases a small amount of carbon dioxide. Stir it into a loose paste. It should have the consistency of thin yogurt. If it's too dry, add a few drops more lemon juice. Don't add water at this stage. Diluting it reduces the citric acid concentration and weakens the dissolving action. Apply the paste directly to the stained surface. On shower glass, use a soft cloth or your fingers. Not an abrasive scrubber at this stage. Work it into the surface in small circles, making sure the paste has full contact with the deposit. On faucets and taps, press the paste against the scale and let it sit. This is important. Leave it for 15 to 20 minutes. Not 5, not 30. 15 to 20. The citric acid needs time to work through the calcium carbonate structure. If you scrub immediately, you're doing the work mechanically that the chemistry should be doing for you, and you won't get the same result. Set a timer and leave it. After the dwell time, come back with a damp cloth, not soaking wet, just damp, and begin working the paste off in small circular motions. You'll see the paste has changed color slightly, from the pale yellow of the lemon borax mix to something slightly darker, more brown or gray. That color shift is the dissolved calcium citrate and lifted mineral particulate mixing into the paste. That's the deposit coming off the surface. Wipe it away completely. On particularly heavy buildup, you may need to reapply and repeat the process once more. Thick limescale doesn't always go in one pass, and that's normal. The final step is the one most people skip, and it's the step that makes this different from just using lemon juice alone. After the surface is clear and you've removed all the paste, take a clean, damp cloth and give the surface one light pass. Just enough to pick up any grit or remaining paste residue. Don't rinse aggressively, don't flood it with water, let it dry. The thin borate film that's left on the surface will be invisible within minutes. The surface will have a clarity to it, especially on glass, that's noticeably different from how it looked before. Not just clean, clear, like the light is moving through it differently. Standard precautions apply. Borax is a mild irritant in powder form, so don't breathe it in when you're measuring it out, and gloves are reasonable for longer applications. Lemon juice stings, cuts. Neither of these is harsh chemistry. This paste is considerably gentler on grout and fixture finishes than most commercial descalers, many of which use hydrochloric or phosphoric acid at concentrations that can damage chrome and etch stone. Test on a small, inconspicuous area first if you're working with an unusual surface material, but for standard glass, ceramic, chrome, and porcelain, this formula is exceptionally gentle. Total cost, $4 for the borax box, which treats dozens of surfaces over its lifetime, plus 1 lemon per application. Compare that to the $15 to $20 routinely charged for commercial hard water removers that, by design, only partially solve the problem. This formula has no planned obsolescence built into it. It works completely or it doesn't. There's no middle setting, no managed improvement that keeps you coming back. Your bathroom, your kitchen sink, your shower glass, they're not stained because you're doing something wrong. They're stained because the products designed to fix that staining were never designed to fix it completely. The formula you now have in your possession is older than the cleaning products industry itself. It predates the concept of buying a new bottle every 3 weeks. That's not an accident of marketing history. It's a pattern. And once you see that pattern, you start to notice it everywhere. In car maintenance, in paint, in lawn care, in a dozen different categories where the permanent solution got quietly replaced by the temporary one. The results from this specific formula show up within the first use on light to moderate buildup. On heavier scale, 2 applications over a week. Mark it on your calendar if you want a benchmark. The difference in how fast the staining returns after this treatment versus after a commercial cleaner is visible. Most people notice within a month that they're cleaning less frequently. That's the brought film doing what it's supposed to do. If this kind of rediscovered knowledge interests you, there's a lot more of it. Formulas and techniques that worked for 100 years before they became economically inconvenient to keep teaching. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you know someone who's been fighting hard water stains for years and pouring money into a problem that was solvable all along, share this with them. That's the only way this kind of information stays in circulation.